our mentor and guru, Sri Chakravarti Anna, and all the reverend Swamijis and monks of the dais, and all the dignitaries of the dais, and all my dear friends. ಅಣ್ಣ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಹೇಳಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಕಾಳಿದ ಮದರಲ್ಲಿ ಹೆಂಗೆ ರಾಮಕೃಷ್ಣ ಪರಮಹಂಸರಿಂದ the energy of Kali has been transformed to Swami Vivekananda, and how the energy of Swami Vivekananda at his last days, he transformed the energy completely to Sister Nivedita. In one of his letters, he mentions to Sister Nivedita that let Ma Sharada be in your hands, and if Ramakrishna is existing, if any time Ramakrishna is saying her truth, then let whatever blessings he has given to me, let the same blessings be given to you. In fact, 1,000 times more what blessings he has given to me, let that be given to you. So this was a blessing what was given by Swami Vivekananda to Sister Nivedita. And after a few days of his of Swamiji's death, Nivedita writes a letter to Josephine MacLeod. I'll just read a letter what she's written. We talk of women making, but the great stream of the Oriental women's life flows on. Who am I that I should seek in any way to change it? It is not rather by taking the national consciousness of the women like that of the men and getting it towards a greater problems and responsibility that one can help. I do not know. Only I think my task is to re-awake my nation, my Bharat, not to influence just a few women. So this concept that I am not just restricted only to women education of India, but to re-awake, to bring the national consciousness of Bharat. So this, she got this awakeness from herself. She got it immediately after the death of Swamiji, and she writes this to Josephine MacLeod. So immediately when she realizes that my job is to re-awake the India, she starts to awake the sleeping souls of Bharat. She knew, as Anna already mentioned, how the country is, how Swamiji is to feel, how our Bharat, how our Indian people are. So she had two tasks. One is to awaken the sleeping souls of Bharat. At the same time, she created a spark in those souls, which soul wanted to do some contribution to nation. One such most significant person was Jagadish Chandra Bose. We all know him as one of the greatest renowned scientists. And what contribution Nivedita gave, right from I think around 1903 till her last death. Her continuous rigorous support and encouragement to Jagadish Chandra Bose was immense. And it's very sad that we know so many of the great personalities of this country, but we forgot who's a man, who's a power behind this. For example, we have Jagadish Chandra Bose, we have Aurobindo Ghosh. So even Gopal Krishna Gokhale. So all such people, they are very popular. But there was one such spark, there was one such power which triggered these people, which made them what they are. That was Sister Nivedita. So Jagadish Chandra Bose, once upon a time he was financially very, very poor. At the same time, because of this British government, they used to create lot of problems in his publication of the journals or conferences, so confidential papers. So it was Nivedita who created a perfect platform through the help of Mrs. Sarabul, and she brought out the inner hidden talent of Jagadish Chandra Bose to the whole world. In one of the conversation to justify why Nivedita chose reawakening of the nation is my final goal, is my final vision, is one of the conversation between Swamiji and Nivedita. Swamiji says, my mission is not just Ramakrishna's, nor Vivekananda, nor anything, but simply to bring manhood to my people. It's just to create that manhoodness, that actual character in my Indian people. And Nivedita replies, I will help you, Swami. And in return, Swamiji replies, I know it. And this was a confidence what Swamiji had on Sister Nivedita, and she tried her best in a very short span of her life, from 1902 to 1911, she tried her best to put it into the real task. In the freedom struggle, Anna also mentioned there, in the freedom struggle, Nivedita played one of the pioneer role. In fact, in building in reconstructing of the nation, Nivedita was a role model. I mean, she played a role of an architect. She had perfect master plan how the plans has to be executed of rebuilding of this nation. So one of the example, I just want to quote one such incident where Nivedita's role in freedom movement was during the partition of Bengal in 1905. Swadeshi movement was one such movement where the products, the goods of which is prepared, which has been manufactured by the Calcutta, by the Bengalians, it's been sold during in the year 1905. So Nivedita, what she used to do, all these Swadeshi products, she used to go to each house, she used to sell those goods, and she used to say that do not orient yourself to the West, but buy these Indian products. So this is what one of the significant and unrecognized contribution of Nivedita in the during the Bengal partition. She strived her best to maintain the unity of Bengal. There was an incident happened at the convocation of Calcutta University. During the convocation of Calcutta University, Lord Curzon, he's been invited as a guest. And there he speaks that the highest ideal of truth is to a large extent a Western conception. Undoubtedly, truth took a high place in moral ethics of the West rather than East. He means to say that in his speech, he mentioned that Indians are liars. Indians are liars. The truth, the character, all these are from the West rather than from the East. So everybody, all the audience, and Nivedita was also present for this speech, and she was, this word, liar, Indian as a liar, she could not tolerate that. She could not tolerate that word. So what did she do? Immediately after his talk, she immediately called for a meeting. She asked with Gurudas Banerjee and many other people, she asked there, do you have a book of Lord Curzon, Problems of the Far East? Do you have this book? She asked immediately. And somebody gives a book to her. Immediately, in the next day, in the Statesman, in the Statesman newspaper, she writes an article picking up some of the quotes, some of the lines what he has written in his book, as well as what he has spoken in the speech of the previous in the university, in the Calcutta University. So he had, in his book, he had written, the concept was, he said Indians are liar. To prove that Indians are not, and he himself he is. He had been to meet Korean foreign officer. In his book he writes this, I had an opportunity to meet a Korean foreign officer, and he asked me during general conversation, he asked what is your age. So there, 30s, 28 age of people have not been highly considered in Korea. So he lies saying that I am 40. Even though he was 33, he says I am 40. She puts this line because he himself writes that I lied saying that I am 40. And at the same time, he asked me, oh, you look so young. So he says, yeah, I have been to travel to some of the place where the climatic condition may look so. And the officer asked, by any chance, are you the near relation of Queen of England? So he says, yes. So this incident, lines what he has mentioned in his book and what he told in the Kolkata University in the convocation that Indians are liars, she very clearly says this shows that who are liars, whether it's the West or whether it's the East. So this much, see, in fact, she is not basically from India, but her immense love towards country, she could not bear even a single word against her country. I would like to conclude this with the word of Dr. Raj Bihari Ghosh on commentary on what is the contribution of Nivedita by Raj Bihari Ghosh. If the dry bones are beginning to stir, it is because Nivedita breathed the breath of life in them. If we are conscious of building national life at the present day, it is in no small measure due to the teaching of Sister Nivedita. So today we are organizing, we are a part of this Sahitya Sammelana of Swami Vivekananda and Sister Nivedita in commemoration of our 150th birth anniversary. And today, if we are trying to re-awake our inner consciousness, our inner love or love towards our country, it's because of Sister Nivedita's teaching. So, as a part of Sodari Nivedita Pratishtana, I would also add one point saying that we try to implement the teachings of Sister Nivedita, as ma'am also mentioned, like Beti Padhao. I think from past 2 years, we are bringing this concept of Beti Padhao, that is, the children who are dropouts, especially girl children who are dropouts because of any financial reason or because of unawareness of education. We We go to their home, we interact with their parents, we create an awareness, we bring them the importance of education, and we make sure that at least these students go to the government, we provide them what are the requirements, and we send them to the government schools, and we also consistently monitor about the growth of their education. So, and this is one of the important concepts of Beti Padhao, and one of the another project what we do is Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt, Nivedita always says, selfless man is a thunderbolt, and it's something about the Vajrayuda. So she say, with this concept, those unrecognized women, those unrecognized great personalities whose life they have entirely dedicated for their selfless service, we recognize them and we give them a platform to inspire more such women and more such younger generation to dedicate their life for the service of this nation. With these words, I would thank all of you for patiently listening, and Jai Hind, Vande Mataram.